allowing myself to express myself. How often do you allow yourself to express yourself outside of your own mind? Outside of your own space? Allowing you to equalize with the world around you. Sharing yourself with yourself instead of keeping yourself inside. Allowing yourself to step outside of the walls of you and express what is deeply embedded within inside of oneself. How do you take courage and implement this being that is within inside of you and all of the thoughts and the feelings and the behaviors that go on within inside of you and allow them to be expressed into the physical realm that is outside, instead of being here for other purposes, being here for your own expression. This is a lot more difficult than we might have thought. I have spent and spent and spent and invested and spent my whole life trying to truly figure this one out. Creating this balance where the inside can express itself outside. The mastery involved is actually mind-blowing. Literally. Oh gosh. To actually express what you are on the inside, outside, through your voice. When you're asked a direct question, you answer it as you would answer it to yourself. The courage that takes is so much more than you'll ever really know until you get to that place. From the depths of the powerful being that you are, to be expressed in the light world, the physical human world. That takes a lot. We've been taught a lot of other things. It's everywhere. It's in everyone's mind, constantly projecting itself at you. And you have to be bigger than it, so to say. It's a little more finite than that, but the processes that are required is the most wow. This is not us worrying about the tangible in front of our face things. This is not us worrying about just the state of mind that we're in. This is not us just worrying or thinking about How do we heal and how do we become better? This is deeper than satisfaction itself that we find in each and everything that we do and are and be. This is the deepest parts of oneself. Having the courage to actually say truth. All capital letters, truth. No excuses, no blaming. Nobody else did it. Wasn't anyone else. Nobody else triggered you. Nobody else got to you. Was nobody else in the universe's fault or expression other than yourself. To get to that place where you're purely expressing yourself as yourself, for yourself, because of yourself, is an immaculate place to be. The courage required to not blame. The courage required to actually stand in this all capital letters truth. Without a put on, without a boasting up yourself, without a feeling like you have an army behind you, without the feeling like you have somebody else who will hold your hand or will come to your rescue. It is you alone against all things that exist. And that is truly the way that it is. Because even the plants themselves are on their own terms, doing their own thing, and they will not agree with you because they cannot understand the depth of who you are. You can understand their depth and add to it. That's why people have feelings for plants, which I know because I have personally had feelings for the plants that I have had. The same way that we feel deep, profound feelings for our pets, because we project our humanness and our intensity into them. Now, do they have feelings? Yes. Do they have emotions? Yes, but they do not have the complexity that we have. They have a limit to what they are able to do, the same way as a plant has a limit of what it's able to do. And when we get to the place where we understand all the limits of all things, including the things we cannot see, the things that we can hear but we cannot hear, of the people that we've seen or have only long time memories of, everything has limits, including yourself. Now, where are you setting those limits on your own ability to express yourself? This is something that affects not just how your body feels, not just how your mind works, not just how the systems that make you operate work, that make everything function and move everything instantaneously, but how you express yourself in your profession. Many people I have seen in life, and even my own self, the temptation to take what I have learned and just switch to something else because it didn't work. There's a better way to do things. You can take what you've learned and refine it into the expression of who you are. Even if it is only a few molecules of that thing, it is still the fabric of who you are. It is still the expertise of the greatness that you are. And we have been living in a world that says, well, if you don't like this, then just quit and do something else. But that's not necessarily ever productive. There's always a way to glean something from everything. And when you can learn to do this with inside of yourself, it becomes really easy only when you know how to express yourself. If you cannot express yourself on the deepest levels of your being, you will not be able to see how everything can become better. And it's not just the relationships, it's not just the work you have, it's the life that you live, it's the way you breathe, how you act and move. The very depth of who you are is deeper than your pleasures. But everything is so interconnected. You must be at a place where you can resist all temptations in order to want to have a conversation with me. To have a conversation with me, I move the deepest places that all things change. There's only one way to have a conversation with me. It's on my website, through membership. ENYELAH.com, or it's linked in the description below. Be very intentional that you are on my page. There's always people out there doing all kinds of things, and I want you to get the real service. I want you to have the real conversation with me. Because real wealth gives you more real wealth. To refine the deepest places within inside of you that you don't even know exist and are unconsciously working and moving on right now, when those places can be tuned and refined to allow you to align to deeper aspects of yourself and deeper expression. This is what gives you the greatest life. It is so much deeper than being satisfied. It is so much deeper than having everything. It is so much deeper than having mastery or control. This is all of them. This is every part of everything. And this is why it takes a lot of courage and a lot of intuition to even want to invest. With a person like me, you have to have already done so much work on yourself in order for you to truly get the value of what you come to me with. If you're aligned, there's no problem. We can have a conversation. But to truly get what you want on the deeper levels, you will have to be able to withstand certain things in your temptation levels. Have you mastered your own fate? Your own fate. Most people don't even know that they can move past what has been given to them. That is definitely a place where you will want to have a conversation with me. But if you have not mastered your own sexuality, then it is probably time that you take some moments to do that before you come into my presence because I do have laws on how I am to be treated, because I want the best for you. But the thing is, I want the best for me. And that comes first. So if you misbehave, I want you to understand and know I have a lot of intuition. And I know what you're doing. So if you are not capable of adhering to people's personal laws, this is something you will need to master within inside of yourself in order to safely come towards me. Expressing oneself on an equilibrium from internal to external on each and every level is something so profoundly powerful. It allows you to be free in all that you are. But you're never free when you understand how much value you hold. All things come with a cost when you're a person of wealth. And if you do not understand that everything comes with a cost, you will find out the cost later. And that is just how it is. Certain people have higher value and higher costs. And I enjoy very valuable people because I am very, very valuable myself. The shifts that happen in even one conversation with me change entire, multiple systems within inside of you. Instantaneously. It depends on how fast you embody, things will be how it will come forward for you. It depends on how deep you are within inside of yourself. To know oneself and to express oneself are two very different things. Because many people know who they are and yet they refuse to express it. It is most important that one expresses themselves continuously as a continuous flow of all things from the deepest depths of who you are. Not where it's comfortable, where it's actually always changing and evolving. There is nothing that is stable about you, but you are stable in yourself and balanced. This is a place of beyond what we understand as mastery. It is, words cannot explain what it truly is to be in this state. It is a state of nothing comfortable, but everything is. And that is comfort when you learn how to make it that way. When everything changes in an instant continuously, this is not human. And this is why there is an internal change within inside of one's own foundation. To express yourself and have the courage to live a life that the deepest parts of you want to talk about, want to speak about, want to share. we're all very, very different. When we get to the very depth of us, the deeper you go, the more difference you will find. This is a beautiful returning to self. I'd like to give you an example right now. This 2021, my skill set was not nearly as refined as it is now. Someone had connected with my energy and flown to the location that I was at. They said they don't normally stay at this particular place that I was at, but they felt drawn to it, so they just did it. They met me, and I knew this was fated. I had drawn this to myself. 2021. This was before a lot of my refinement, and I did this with ease. This person had a 8-figure a year business, and about 6 months prior, they had a breakdown in their office and they couldn't move. They changed their entire appearance. They lost all the weight that they had. They had basically changed their entire personality. They were unable to work. Their family and friends had no idea what to do with them, how to do anything. They weren't involved with their own business anymore. They just couldn't cope. When this person came to see me, he was normally a person well put together, well dressed, and was walking around everywhere barefoot. His clothes didn't fit him whatsoever, and he just didn't even care. He still had bank accounts full of cash. It wasn't an issue. He just couldn't grasp life, and we were having conversation. It took us 3 conversations at a time. Like I said, this is 2021. I'm making this in 2025. My skill set is increased so much you wouldn't understand. It's not human. I took him from being in a place where he was unable to even comprehend putting together full sentences. He just wanted to get out of the world. He just wanted to take everything out. He's just in la zone. 3 conversations it took us. And he was back on the phone making deals in the location that I was at. It was 3 days. And he's like, I can do this. This, that, and the other thing. Now, I'm not saying that I can take somebody and piece them together again, because I'm not claiming that that's what I can do. Have I done it? Numerous times. It is something that is very easy for me because everything has a root cause. Everything has a reason. You break for a reason. And there's always a way to fix things. And when you can see at these deep levels, and I simply have a conversation with you, I don't need to go through a healing session. This is not that type of person. I just sat down and showed him a different way to think and act and know about how he does things so that he feels comfortable continuing on. This is refinement. This is refinement. Now, at the time, I was a person who didn't charge up front. I wanted to work on faith that when I assisted someone that they were going to work with me. I have since learned this lesson. I understand that once someone's pain point is healed, they no longer see even your value. This is an important understanding that every soul will need to understand and know. The deeper your pain point, the harder it is to solve, the more you feel like there's no way that anything can fix it, the more it's going to cost. There are deep, deep, deep things that can change your entire being instantaneously if you're aligned. These are also things that, if not done correctly, my intention is to make more whole, complete, and powerful people who mind their own business for their business because of their business. Understanding whole and complete people who manage themselves and their wealth, this is valuable. This is valuable to all things and in all places. And it's what I truly want for myself, so it is all that I can offer for anyone else. To be whole and complete within oneself allows you to do many, many things, and the deeper you go, the more that you can create, the more you can hold, the more value that you are to this world, and we need more wealthy souls in human bodies aligned on this earth plane. There is so much value in having a conversation with me. It's conversation. I'm not guaranteeing you absolutely anything, but it is in the tools that is built into my very nature. If your intuition is telling you, then you must make your own choices. Because that in itself is self-responsibility that is required. To work with power, you must be power. I am art in the form of a human being. My artwork is a very, very complex and powerful system. On top of systems, on top of systems, continuously refined to create the best whole life built by myself, for myself, because of myself, in lieu of myself. And for a moment in time, this wonderful system is available to those who have the intuition and the courage to invest in themselves. A conversation with me will always shift. It will always shift you. This is who I am. The question is, are you doing it intentionally? Or are you a person that fights yourself? How badly do you truly desire alignment? So that you can refine everything that you have to create a life that feels good for you. To be whole and complete within yourself requires you only live for yourself, only because of yourself, only by yourself, and honoring the deep places within inside of yourself. You have to speak those deep truths. In the presence of me, you will notice that I do not hold anything to you when it comes to you expressing yourself. I want you to express yourself. But you cannot move outside of your own space. If you desire to do so, those are the places where I will confine you. I am not anything that will confine your ability to express the depths of who you are. No matter what it looks like. Because those deep places have keys to showing you exactly the being that you are. Powerful conversations. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself to understand more of who you are as a being, as a human existence. All of the things that require your cognitive abilities. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself all the way through to the end of this video.